Hey everyone, I'm Allison and you're watching Long Island Thrifter. Today I am checking out 9 incredibly valuable items found at thrift stores, flea markets, and garage sales. Let's check them out. Over the last few months, I've read a lot of articles on some incredibly valuable finds that were picked up at flea markets, thrift stores, and garage sales. And I thought, I want to do a little digging and do some research on this and see what some of the most expensive items ever found were. So this list is definitely not complete. It's just, I think, scratching the surface on what's been found. But these were some highlights that I remember seeing articles on, and the last one will surprise you. It actually was something that I found. So when you think, oh, this will never happen to me, I'll never find something of value, you never know, because I didn't think that was going to happen to me either. A woman in Philadelphia bought a very interesting looking necklace at a flea market for $15. 3 years later, she was walking around a museum and came face to face with jewelry that looked just like her necklace. Turns out it was the artwork of Alexander Calder. He was a painter and sculptor, but he did make over 1,800 pieces of jewelry throughout his career. This woman contacted the Calder Foundation in New York, which verified that it was indeed one of his pieces. In 2013, that necklace sold at Christie's auction house for over $267,000. That's an incredible flea market find. This is one of my favorite thrifting finds ever. In 1991, a man went to a flea market, and while he was there, he saw a frame that he liked. He didn't like the picture that was in it, but he loved the frame. He bought it for $4. He gets it home, and he's taking the picture out of the frame, and out slips a piece of paper. He opens it up. It's an original copy of the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, I know, crazy. He ended up selling that at auction for over $2.4 million. Now that is an incredible find. This story I remember from watching Antiques Roadshow, and I was floored by it. There was a Missouri woman who had gone to a garage sale, and she bought a gilded bronze figure of a Buddhist deity for $75. Honestly, I don't know if I spend $75 for much of anything at a garage sale. She had it for like 20 years, and she brought it to the Antiques Roadshow. This appraiser conservatively valued it at about $75,000 to $100,000. That was a conservative value, because when it ended up going to auction, that bronze sold for $2.1 million. I mean, that was incredible. I know I said this year I was going to stop buying breakables because of, breakage. But this story made me think, just keep looking. You don't have to buy, but if you see something interesting, definitely pick it up. A family in upstate New York bought a little bowl at a garage sale for $3. They wondered about it, and a few years later, they got it appraised, and they were told it was worth between $200,000 and $300,000. Well, it turns out it was from China's Northern Song Dynasty. When they ended up putting it up for auction, it went for a lot more than $200,000 to $300,000. It sold for $2.2 million. I will definitely keep scouring the China section in the thrift store. Hey, while you're here, could you tap the like button and hit subscribe? It helps me and the channel. Thanks so much. This story was pretty wild. A scrap metal dealer went to a flea market and he bought a metal egg, but he was spending $14,000 for the egg. Again, I don't think I would be spending $14,000 on anything at a flea market, but this guy was going to do it, and he was going to melt it down. Fortunately, he did not, because it turns out that was a Fabergé egg. One of the eggs that Peter Carl Fabergé made for Russian czars. That egg ended up selling at auction for $30 million. That is an incredible find. Apparently, Fabergé made 50 imperial eggs. Only 43 are accounted for. So there's still 7 out there somewhere in the world that you might find. This is one of my favorite stories too. It was also on Antiques Roadshow. It was about a woman who bought a card table for $25 at a yard sale. Her card table was made by John Seymour and Son in the late 1700s. When she brought it to the Antiques Roadshow, the twin brothers, Leslie and Lee Keno, were going crazy over this table. I guess because this maker didn't create a lot of pieces, they conservatively estimated the piece between $200,000 and $300,000. When it went to auction at Christie's auction house, it sold for over $540,000. So this story I recently read about, this woman was in a jumble shop, as they call them over in England. She found this really fun, big brooch that she thought her little daughter would enjoy because her daughter loves dressing up like a Disney princess, but doesn't everybody? So she bought it for $24 and brought it home, and her daughter played with it for a while. Well, it turns out it was a piece of early 19th century jewelry that may have been in a Tsarina's tiara. There were 27 clear-cut diamonds surrounding this bigger stone in the middle that she didn't know what it was. The center stone was a near flawless topaz that was weighing 20 carats. Now that is a great find. The value is somewhere between $3,600 and $4,800, which is incredible. I mean, for that $24 brooch she found at a jumble shop. I love this story because it was a college student that found it, and seeing his expression when he posted it on Instagram was great. He was watching the auction from class, which was hilarious. When he was in a Goodwill, he found this Yashitomo Nara ashtray, which I would have picked up because that thing is really fun and cool. It's like one of those things, a little girl smoking a cigarette. It's just badass. I like it. It was an original Nara piece from 2002 called Too Young to Die. The $10 ashtray ended up selling on eBay for over $2,600. That to me is a fabulous thrift store find. So for all of you out there that call Goodwill Greedwill, these are some of the items that the staff don't know anything about, so they don't mark it a high price, right? Check out this video that I did on things in the thrift stores that are overlooked by the staff. And if you look for these items, you might find some treasure. This last item was not in the news. This is something that happened to me. Yeah, so it could happen to you too. I went to a yard sale. The guy that was running it, his mom was sitting on the porch, and I walked around and I saw a little jade piece, and I picked it up and then I put it down, and then I walked around again and I came back and he saw me holding it and he said, "Oh, my mom collected perfume bottles." And I looked at him and he said, $1. Well, after about a week or so of doing some research, I contacted a perfume group in the Midwest, and the librarian said to me, "Oh, that's not a perfume bottle. It's actually a snuff bottle." I also found this guy, he had a webpage all about snuff bottles, and he was based in Taiwan. So I emailed that guy. He wrote me back right away and he said, "You're very lucky because this is probably worth about $500. I was like, well, I'm gonna put it up on eBay and see what happens. And I don't really like auctions, but this one in particular, I think I should put it on auction. I started the bidding at $750. Within an hour, I had people asking me, "What's your buy it now price?" I didn't have one because I didn't know what it was going to go to. So then I had someone offer me $1,000 for it. So I knew I had the goods. You know what I'm saying? At the end of that week, of course, in the last 30 seconds, the bidding was frantic. I could not believe it. And that little jade snuff bottle sold for $2,118. So you can find treasure. Leave a comment below and let me know what incredibly valuable treasure you found while out thrifting. You never know what you'll find at flea markets, thrift stores, or garage sales. So keep an eye out for those unusual items. Thanks for watching Long Island Thrifter. If you enjoyed this video, please tap the like button, and if so inclined, please subscribe. Until next time, keep on thrifting.